Hi students, listen. Today we will start our next lesson, the Vedic civilization. It's about our Indian history. First lesson we studied about the Indus Valley civilization, and after that we studied other three civilizations like Mesopotamia, Egyptian, and Chinese civilization. This one actually after the first Indus Valley civilization, after the continuation what was happened in Indian history, that is after Indus Valley civilization, the next features related as the historical features continued in India. It was that period is known as the Vedic period, and that civilization it was commonly known as Vedic civilization. Actually, we studied the decline, the causes of the decline of the Indus Valley civilization. One of the cause we studied that the arrival of Aryans or the invasion of Aryans. So remember that point. Here the Aryans in the Sapta Sindhu region. This one only the introduction only it is concentrate that introduction. We studied the Harappan civilization which was flourished more than 1000 years and began to decline during the period of 1500 BCE. And actually during this period what was happened, the Aryans from Central Asia, they arrived to India. The Aryans arrived to India, and this period onwards they laid the foundation for the next period or the next changes or features related as this civilization, that is known as Vedic age, otherwise Vedic civilization. When the Aryans arrived to India, that period onwards, the period means correctly we can tell that it was the decline of Indus Valley civilization, and it was happened in the time of 1500 BCE. This period onwards in Indian history, this period it was commonly known as Vedic age or Vedic civilization. It is said that the Aryans were pastoral people actually who originally lived in the Caspian Sea nearest to the region of Central Asia. Historians are finding and telling that Aryans, those who came to India from Central Asia, their original place or native place for Central Asia, they came to India from Central Asia. As their population increased, they migrated towards Europe and Asia in search of new pastures. Means new pasture or a region they find out and moved from Central Asia to some people or a group of people moved to Europe, and other group of people moved to India, especially Asian continents, other nations. Some of them came to India around the period of 1500 BCE, and they were known as Indo-Aryans. Listen students, after came to India, this Aryans came to India, and after that in Indian history mentioning about them as Indo-Aryans. When the Indo-Aryans came to India, they had to face resistance from the local inhabitants. That means the people, those who were living in the Indus region, otherwise we already studied the Indus Valley people, whom they called Dasas or Dasyus. That means they suppressed them and defeated them by war. That's why after that they called them as Dasas or Dasyus. The Aryans first settled in the region of Sapta Sindhu. Listen students, Sapta means 7. Sapta Sindhu means the tributaries of Indus river. River Indus. Totally 7 rivers are there. Want to study the names of 5 tributaries of Indus river are Satluj, Ravi, Bias, Chenab and Jhelum. Including Indus and the other river it was Saraswati. Now this river is not there on the earth. It's related as some mythical stories or Purana stories. In the Puranas it is telling that it was vanished under the means earth or Prithvi, telling like that way in the Puranas about the river Saraswati. Anyway, during that time these 7 rivers were there during that period of 1500 BCE. Once again, Satluj, Ravi, Bias, Chenab and Jhelum. These 5 are the rivers flowing through Punjab. That's why the name Punjab came. Panj-ab in Hindi it is known as Panj means 5, Ab rivers. That's why the name that was given to this state Punjab. These 5 rivers are flowing through Punjab. So these people, Indo-Aryans, they came to India and settled nearest this region, Sapta Sindhu region, and it was known as, they named this region after started their settlement in this region. They named this region as Brahmavarta. Listen how to pronounce Brahmavarta. Okay, Brahmavarta. The meaning of Brahmavarta, land of the gods. Land of the gods, Brahmavarta. They called the name of their land as Brahmavarta. They decided to settle here, and the meaning of the Brahmavarta is land of the gods. The region covers the present areas of eastern Afghanistan, Punjab, and parts of western Uttar Pradesh. These are the places actually the Indo-Aryans came and settled at the first time. The period between 1500 BCE and 1000 BCE, during which the Aryans settled in this region, it is known as the early Vedic period or early Vedic age. At the first time when they came to India and settled at the first time, it was in between the period of 1500 to 1000 BCE. This period it was means called as or known as early Vedic period or early Vedic age. You know, this is because much of our information about this period is derived from a book, that is Rig Veda. The book, it was known as Rig Veda, which composed, actually it was written during this period. So that's why from this book itself we get enough information about the first settlement of the Aryans in India. That's why this period is known as, the other name it is known as Rigvedic age or Rigvedic period. Once again students, listen. In between 1500 to 1000 BCE, first they settled nearest this region, Sapta Sindhu, and when they came and settled after, they called the land as Brahmavarta. Its meaning as land of the gods. And this period, it was, means the historians and other people getting the information from a greatest work or the book. It was known as the Rig Veda, the first Veda written by the people, and that's why this period it is known as otherwise Rigvedic age or the first settlement. That's why it is otherwise known as early Vedic period. Okay, so listen, a few 1 mark questions are here in this introduction, and read the paragraph very well after listening or watching this video. Also the 5 tributaries of river Indus and Saraswati, the 7 rivers, including 7 rivers. So Sapta means 7, Sapta Sindhu means including Sindhu river, other 5 tributaries, and Saraswati, and the Saraswati river, totally known as Sapta Sindhu. And when they came to India, they settled here in this region. They called this region as Brahmavarta. Okay, so read the textbook very well, only introduction. Okay students, thank you.